Ladies and gentlemen, this is part 2 of our Real Short Buck special Halloween presentation. My name is Donald.
My name is Kevin.
And my name is Cam.
Oh, that's special part 2. Special part 2. That's a sequel. Horror films get a lot of sequels, guys.
Yes, they do.
Tons of sequels.
Ridiculous amounts of sequels.
I want to talk about one real quick while we have the time. I'm just going to mention it. It's a buddy of mine's film. Derek, I'm going to plug you here, Derek Hagen. I had a bloody good time at House Harker. Now, this film is available on Amazon Prime. It is a free rental on Amazon Prime if you have an account. Otherwise, I believe it's like $2.99, which is not expensive to rent a film. Mm-mm. This is a fun vampire film. Think, what was that film? Fright Night, right? Mm-hmm. Think Fright Night, but just a tad sillier. Yeah, I know. So it's good. It's really good. It has to do with like the fact that there's these two guys, and they are relatives of vampire hunters of Van Helsing, and they have the house that the original Van Helsing relatives lived in, and they still own the house, but they're trying. They ran out of money, and they basically said to this institution, they said, "Hey, if you donate money for us to make this a historical landmark project, we will turn this into kind of a museum almost." Well, instead of making it nice and fancy, they took all the money and spent it and then used the rest to try to make a stage play based on their family's history, which was fucking awful. Mm-hmm. So in doing that, they realized, oh my God, we have to try to make money to pay these people back, or they're going to take the house from us. So they come up with the scheme where they're like, maybe we'll say that vampires are real, and we will prove it tonight at House Harker, and we will prove that vampires are real, and all you have to do is give a certain amount of money to come in, and we'll show you. And what happens is that, nobody thinks it's real, but it actually is real. And a vampire does happen to show up and starts to turn people. And that's when the Harkers, along with their friend Ned, played by my friend Derek, has to fight back and fight this whole house full of not only the main vampire, but all the vampires he's made and turned. Yeah. So it's a really fun kind of a comedy feel to it. It's very good. The cast is excellent. The leads are excellent in it, so I can't plug it enough. I've seen it at least 4 or 5 times, to be honest, and I'll still see it again. It's a really fun vampire film. Highly recommend it. I know probably neither one of you seen it yet.
I have not seen it yet.
But
I do have an Amazon Prime account.
There you go. So definitely check it out. Definitely around Halloween time. I think it's a good one.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yep, and I think we have time for a few more. What would you like to discuss there, Kevin?
I think I'm going to talk about 28 Days Later.
Nice.
I love that movie.
Do you really?
I do.
Almost sounds like you've said that before.
Hard to believe that this movie is about 15 years old. And
Is it?
Yep. And this movie basically reinvigorated the zombie genre, although technically they're not zombies.
They're not?
They're infected. They're infected. But they have zombie-like qualities, but technically they're not zombies.
But that's how I feel like if zombies were to come upon this earth,
It would
that's
be
how I
something
feel
like
like
that.
it would have to be. That was the most realistic version of zombies.
Yeah.
It'd be
I
like,
was
really
whoa.
fast.
All thanks to those animal activists not even listening and causing the whole problem at the beginning of the movie.
I do not remember.
Don't you remember these animal activists?
Oh, they let go. They
let free those monkeys, and
Right.
and the scientists trying to explain to them, no, you don't understand. Don't do it because they're they knocked the guy out.
So it's like Outbreak.
They freed.
Yeah.
And then of course they get attacked, and that's how it all
Always
started.
those goddamn monkeys. Planet of the Apes, this movie, Outbreak. Jesus Christ, monkeys,
Well,
just knock it off.
They're considered close relatives to human beings. After all, we
true.
share about 97%, I believe, of our DNA structure.
Oh, you know
with
what I read?
chimps,
Where
with
there was
chimps.
I think it was a chimpanzee that just performed cannibalism, which is very rare for this species.
Yeah.
What happened was that her young one, she gave birth, and it was stillborn, and she carried it with her for a while, and then ate it. ate its carcass.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Like bit by bit, ate the little baby, stillborn baby that it gave birth to.
Wow.
And they said that is an aberration. It is
Rare.
extremely rare to happen. But I'm telling you now,
Yeah.
it's just a sign of things to come.
Oh my god.
We're gonna start eating each other. Cannibalism is coming,
So
people.
you think
It is
maybe-
real.
Maybe it's some kind of mad monkey disease.
Give me your fingers, Kevin.
No.
Just want to lick them.
Kim probably tastes better than me. I can assure you
Absolutely
that. I
not.
can assure you that. I'm sure he tastes much better than me.
Maybe we'll play the game later of where have your fingers been, and then I'll decide which
Okay.
fingers to eat first.
Well, my fingers were in the cookie jar earlier, but
Oh, well then they're sweet. Chocolate chip.
What are things you hate the most, Donald? That's where my fingers have been.
Oh my god, they've been in marmalade. How dare you put all your fingers in marmalade.
But you see, it's a very powerful, dark film with a little bit of hope, but not really. I mean, it's a very apocalyptic film. You know, many people have been taken out, wiped out. All these survivors have to come together and work their way through London, then outside into, like, you know, the more rural country area. You know, there's just tragedy. There's just... And by the way, one thing that's interesting about this film, these creatures, these people move. You know, it's not like the
That's yeah.
they're not, it's not like the slow, you know, taking my sweet time. Oh no, they know these are like athletes. These are like track athletes. They're coming after you.
That was the scariest thing for me because, like, I watched it and like every other zombie movie I've watched, I'm like, I'd survive that. And then this movie came out and I was like, I would not survive this.
Yeah,
this scenario. I'd be dead.
They got like these Olympic track, you know, abilities. I mean, they're running fast. They're coming for you.
Yeah.
And what's other crazy thing is if any of the blood gets on you, you're doomed. You
Oh,
know?
right. Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? It was Brendan Gleeson.
Yes.
Where-
Sad, very sad.
It was like a crow or something,
Yep,
right?
crow
That had a
got
piece
him.
of blood or meat or something.
Yep.
And it dropped in his eye.
It infected him.
And it just took a second and he was infected. And you're
Yep.
like, oh my god, because he was held up in that apartment complex for forever.
Yep.
And he was so generous and nice to help him out. And
yet
then like
later it would lead to his
when
own
they went to
destruction.
like, just like that, gone.
Yep.
What do we learn?
Damn. Don't trust anybody.
In this situation, it's every man, woman, and child for themselves.
Does anybody else, okay, show of hands, does anybody else have a zombie survival kit at home ready to go?
I do. Maybe not zombie. Like, it's an apocalypse.
Apocalyptic
Like,
kit.
shit's
Yeah, same
going
thing,
down.
same
Bug
thing.
out bag. Bug out
Yeah.
bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
I call it my firebox.
Yeah.
You know, it's like in case shit hits a fan,
Yeah.
everything
Got,
gets
like,
on
You've
fire.
always
I
wondered
run like
why
hell.
I would buy katana blades from Comic-Con every other year.
That's why?
That's one of the reasons.
Jesus, I think you would like buy them from somebody in Japan instead.
No, they came from Japan originally.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
I asked the vendor.
Oh, he's a liar.
And also the sword itself says made in Japan.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I could print that on there in China. Think about it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun dun. So that was a good one. We've got two more to hurry up and get to. Which one would you like to talk about?
Monster House.
Yeah.
Because I love cartoons.
Monster House was great. It's great. I have the DVD sitting right here in front of us. And
It's smiling at you.
it is, I always felt, and I told you guys, I've always felt that it should have been a live action, but they
Yeah.
couldn't quite figure out how to do it.
Sure.
That's the way I feel. But it's a fantastic film. Tell us a
think-
little bit about it.
It's these three children go on an adventure. Like, this house is a monster house. I'm really good at describing things, you guys.
Yeah, no, it's great. You just told us the title.
It's a monster house, you guys.
Steve Buscemi plays the old man that everybody's scared of, but he ends up not being the scary part of the story. The house itself is the monster. And it's not so much that it's a monster, it's just that it's a misunderstood kind of a
Oh, yeah. Wasn't it
possessed
like his
love.
wife? Or,
Yeah.
like something like that?
Yeah, the love of his life.
Yeah.
It was like the bearded lady or some large woman
Yeah.
that got killed. She fell into a pit and got cement poured on her or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
Totally what, I haven't
It's
seen it in
kinda
a while.
dark
It is super
For
dark
a kids
for
film.
kids
I would say it's a
movie.
PG-13, but
Yeah.
they do register it as a PG, which is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And I think Sony made this, which good for them. And it was around the time that it was Robert Zemeckis, I believe, that produced it. And he was doing that motion capture thing, very, very popular thing at the time.
Also, didn't do like that not Panda Express, like the Polar Express.
Polar Express, that was
yeah.
awful.
I didn't see that.
I puked in my mouth watching it.
Again,
Really?
I have to ask.
It was really bad.
You hated it that much?
It was really bad. Really bad. Really, really, really bad.
I mean, if you were a child, though, would it fill you with wonderment and amazement?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, absolutely
All right.
not. I'm still... See, the rare thing about me is I'm still very childlike.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I've quite grown up.
Sure.
And I know, like, you can speak to anybody that I've dated in the past and they'll agree. But, and you could just look around my apartment, too. But I like cartoons. I'm very much like my mother in that. I like cartoons. I like toys. I'm like my father, and I like to be silly. Mm-hmm. I like to tell stories and sing songs and stuff. So, you know, I feel like I can relate really well still to the younger crowd in that aspect. But
can they relate to you?
Well, who knows? That's not my job.
Actually, it is.
No, it's not. It would be if I had kids.
But aren't we doing this podcast for the kids?
I don't have any that I know of.
Jesus, I hope not.
I hope not either. We've said fuck like 7 times. Fuck, fuck, fuck. 10.
Fuck.
11.
Well, maybe we're doing this for the parents then.
We could be. And in which case, if we were doing it for the parents, we'd say, hey, how about we do something with your children? Perhaps a purge. Oh, segue time. Purge. That is a movie. I'm not. You guys probably like the first one. I'm more of a second one fan.
Actually, I'm more of a second and third one.
Okay, so you're a second
I
fan.
have only seen the first one, so I can only
Purge
speak on
Anarchy and Purge
Okay,
Election.
so the first one you really liked.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what was it about it that you really liked?
It was a cool concept of like,
like I've seen it before,
one
though.
night everyone
You could-
goes on a fucking rampage.
You
like,
could kill anybody, basically,
yeah, yeah,
and get away with it.
yeah.
That's the premise of the whole movie.
That's
And it's
terrifying. That's
Government.
approved.
approved.
Well,
Right.
it's a funny
It's
thing.
The law of the
the-
land.
see, to me, the second movie really takes the concept into full execution. Where the first one is kind of more like a home invasion movie to me.
Agree 100%.
Yes, it is.
And I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
in
I
that
could see
respect.
that. The second one,
To me, the second one
I
is.
think it's Frank Grillo. Is it
Yeah,
Frank?
yeah, he's in there.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
Like I've
Purge
told you
Anarchy.
guys, he's the Punisher. He is my Punisher. If you're listening, sir, you are the Punisher.
Now,
you are the
John-
only Punisher I will get
John
behind.
Bernthal would beat your ass for saying that.
You know what? He can try. Many have. He best pack a lunch.
I don't think you stand a chance, sir.
Well, you know what? I'm not scared.
Do you know Graf Macaw? Do you know
No,
their
but
martial
I
arts?
don't. I know Burt Bacharach personally, so there's that.
Okay. Well, good luck. Well, good luck to you, buddy. Good luck to you.
Thank you. And I know the legend of the fist.
I think
My fist.
I think you know more of the legend of the Scotch than you know the legend of the fist.
There's no scotch in there, sir.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I don't mix scotch with soda. What do you think? I am a heathen?
No.
Okay, good.
Now that that's cleared up.
So now that that's cleared up, there was The Purge, which was more of a home invasion movie with Kevin
Yeah,
Bacon.
Right, that's the one. Yeah.
There's The Purge 2.
Also, Lena Headey, remember from Game of Thrones, who played Cersei Lannister.
Oh, that's right. No, she didn't play Cersei in that movie.
Well, I didn't say that.
That'd be silly.
I didn't say that.
With her
obviously.
wine, what are you doing in my house?
Yes. Yes. Awkward all around, that movie.
No, but the second movie, Anarchy, is more about the full execution.
It's more of an adventure. You're going out into the
Yeah.
world to see more of the Purge.
Yeah, well, basically, it's the full execution of the concept.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yes,
actually
yes,
get,
yes.
you actually get to see the Purge for what
How it
what
takes
it's-
place,
How
yeah.
it takes place, what it's worth.
And the third one, I would say, is more of an exhibition film. It's
Yes,
more of
election
a
year, yeah.
Yeah, it's more of like a 70s, like dark kind of a horror, almost porn kind of feel to it. It's very creepy in that manner. They're still banging them out. Like the third one was still very good.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect, but it was still very good.
And
I
the
would
way
say
it-
the second's my favorite of
And
the
the
group.
way it ends, it makes you wonder.
Oh, there'll be more.
Oh, yeah.
As long as they still, you look at the box office. As
Yeah.
long as they're still making money, there
keep-
will be purges.
Facts.
There'll be saws and purges.
Yeah.
In fact, this they got a new one, Jigsaw, right?
Yeah.
You said?
Yeah,
Coming out
we
this
just-
Friday.
Yeah.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Really? You
Yep.
don't say.
Yes, sir.
That is the same day that Stranger Things 2 comes out.
Yes. Can't wait for that.
That'll be exciting. That was a really good Netflix show.
It was so good.
It really
It is so
resonated.
good.
It resonated with millennials. And we're talking about older millennials. It resonated with younger Gen Xers
and I want Winona
and probably
Ryder.
older Gen Xers.
And
for
Winona
that.
Ryder.
it resonated with her because she gets a paycheck.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, I can eat. And it resonated with D&D fans, actually, big time.
Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah. A friend of mine, Phil, he was just telling me about Stranger Things and how it really rekindled his love for Dungeons and Dragons. Because he remembers being that excited and creating those stories when he was younger. And he wanted to do it again. And I know a lot of people like that now get together and do Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird if you think about it, but it's really also kind of cool. You know, it's kind of a nostalgic thing.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. Being a comic book fan that I am, and you as well. And
you as well.
And you to a point.
To a point.
I'm not as fully versed as you guys.
That's
in
okay,
that.
we'll get you there.
But you have like 3 short boxes, you told us.
We will get you there. They're in her car.
Oh.
She sleeps in with the short boxes.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know how it works.
my
But
goodness.
I think that's going to be it for us. I know it was a little short and sweet, and I'm sorry we couldn't go longer.
Can I give a quick shout out to one other film real quick?
Sure.
Just as a recommendation.
Yeah.
The original Wicker Man with Christopher Lee.
Really?
1973.
Now, I would go with the
Nicolas
Cage.
Oh no, this is
version.
far superior.
Having visited his tomb recently in
Reason
New
being,
Orleans.
it has one.
I did.
What?
It's a pyramid.
Oh.
Yep, an alabaster pyramid. It's gorgeous.
Okay.
I've never seen its equal.
The only reason why I say this is because you talk about crazy twist endings. It has one of those crazy twist endings. So, 1973 Wicker Man film with
Okay.
Christopher Lee. Trust me, you'll be shocked.
What's your quick recommendation, Kim?
I don't know. I don't know.
Think of one.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
There you go. Hey, it's almost like you read that. Hey, all right.
Sure did.
Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a good one. That's a good choice. Mine would probably be the one just below it, and I'm just saying, like theoretically speaking,
Right.
Beetlejuice.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I see now. Where that might, I thought it said pee juice.
Yes,
I didn't feel
pea juice is
I
what
didn't
it said.
feel
yeah.
comfortable reading that.
Yeah, a little awkward. I understand.
But
With that, that is going to be it for the short box here, the real short box. My name is Donald.
My name is Kevin.
and my name is Cam.
With that, we will see you at the comic shop.
Bye bye.